The United States, under President Trump, is planning to impose reciprocal tariffs on a global scale. This policy, set to take effect on April 2, 2025, has sent shockwaves through the international trade system and poses a significant challenge for India. India, a rising economic power with a burgeoning trade relationship with the US, finds itself caught in the crosshairs of this protectionist policy shift. The potential impact on India is substantial. With the US being one of its largest trading partners, India stands to lose significant export revenue. The proposed tariffs, ranging from 6 to 10%, could affect as much as 87% of India's $66 billion worth of exports to the US. This looming threat of a trade war has cast a shadow of uncertainty over India's economic prospects. The situation is further complicated by the existing trade imbalance between the two countries. The US has a significant trade deficit with India, with imports far exceeding exports. This disparity has been a point of contention, with the US administration accusing India of unfair trade practices. The imposition of reciprocal tariffs, while aimed at addressing this imbalance, could have unintended consequences for both economies. It is in this context of heightened trade tensions that India must navigate its response, seeking to protect its interests while preserving a vital trade relationship. In the face of these challenges, India has adopted a two-pronged strategy, engaging in negotiations while preparing to mitigate the potential damage. India's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, during his visit to Washington in February 2025, initiated trade talks with the US. India has expressed its willingness to address some of the US's concerns. As a gesture of goodwill, India has offered to reduce tariffs on over half of US imports. This concession, covering goods worth $23 billion, signals India's intent to find common ground. However, India's offer is not without conditions. The tariff reductions are contingent on the US reciprocating by easing its proposed tariffs on Indian goods. This quid pro quo approach underscores India's determination to secure a fair and balanced trade deal. The negotiations are ongoing, with both sides engaging in sector-specific discussions and product-by-product negotiations. Assistant U.S. Trade Representative Brendan Lynch is leading the U.S. delegation, while India has assembled a team of experienced trade negotiators. The outcome of these negotiations will be crucial in determining the future trajectory of U.S.-India trade relations. While India is open to negotiation, it remains firm on certain non-negotiables. Sectors deemed sensitive, particularly agriculture, are off the table for significant tariff reductions. India's stance on agricultural products stems from concerns over the livelihoods of millions of farmers. Sensitive products like meat, maize, wheat, and dairy, currently protected by tariffs ranging from 30 to 60%, are unlikely to see significant cuts. The Indian government is wary of opening up these sectors to what it perceives as unfair competition from heavily subsidized US agricultural products. However, there is room for negotiation in other areas. India has indicated its willingness to consider phased reductions on auto tariffs, which currently stand at over 100%. This could provide a boost to US automakers looking to tap into the growing Indian market. The pharmaceutical and automotive sectors, which account for a significant portion of India's exports to the US, are particularly vulnerable to the proposed tariffs. These sectors, heavily reliant on the US market, could face significant losses if a trade deal is not reached. The ongoing trade tensions between the US and India are unfolding against a backdrop of broader global economic uncertainty. Trade protectionism is on the rise, fueled by nationalist sentiments and anxieties over globalization. The global economy is grappling with slowing growth, with recession fears looming large. Currency markets are volatile, with the Indian rupee weakening by about 2% in 2025. The Reserve Bank of India is closely monitoring the situation, taking steps to maintain financial stability. In this uncertain environment, the outcome of the US-India trade negotiations takes on added significance. If the two countries fail to reach a deal, it could further destabilize the global trading system, emboldening protectionist forces elsewhere. Moreover, a breakdown in talks could benefit other countries. Nations like Indonesia, Israel, and Vietnam, eager to expand their market share, could emerge as alternative suppliers to the US, potentially displacing Indian exports. The stakes are high, and the world is watching closely as the US and India attempt to navigate this complex trade dispute.